In 1986, a 26-year-old man walked into a darts pub with borrowed money. He had no sponsors, no fame, just a dream. That man was Phil Taylor. Before he became the greatest name in darts history, there was Eric Bristow, the man who saw potential in a young factory worker and turned him into a world champion.
Been together, we bloody played everything we can together. He's learnt me, he's taught me, he's sponsored me. Taught him to.
This is not just the story of dominance, records, and titles. This is the rise of a legend shaped by another legend. Phil Taylor would become the man because of whom the PDC had to change the rules. He would be the man who wouldn't just play, he'd dominate the sport for generations. This is the story of Phil Taylor, and you are watching Episode 2 of Darts Legends. Chapter 1. The Unexpected Encounter. Phil Taylor was born in 1960 in Stoke-on-Trent, England. Growing up in a modest home and working in factory jobs, Taylor experienced a life far removed from the glamour of professional sports. As a teenager, he earned £52 a week working in a ceramics factory. A significant moment in Taylor's life came when his wife gifted him a set of darts for his birthday. Phil Taylor's life took a dramatic turn in 1985, when he attended an exhibition match at a pub in Smallthorne. The event featured none other than the legendary Eric Bristow, the reigning world champion and one of the biggest names in darts at the time. Taylor, who had been dabbling in darts casually, was inspired by Bristow's skill and charisma.
One night, I was playing somebody from the Crafty Cockney. When he come into the room, it was like, I don't know, it was so strange. He got this massive aura about him.
At this point, Taylor had no professional aspirations in darts. He was just another pub player. However, he boldly challenged a local player who had recently qualified for a televised event, and won. Recognizing something special, Bristow took Taylor under his wing, and didn't just mentor Taylor, he changed his life entirely.
He's a bit aggressive, he's like me on the dartboard. He's very quiet off the dartboard, but when he's playing on the dartboard, he's nasty and he wants to win, which is good, so I decided to sponsor him, take him about and see how good he was.
Just like that?
Just like that, that's it. Well,
Bristow lent Taylor £10,000 on the condition that Taylor quit his job in the ceramics industry and dedicate himself fully to darts.
He sponsored me roughly, I'd say, about £10,000.
Right.
To travel the world, from America to Canada, Finland, Denmark, Sweden.
This sponsorship wasn't just about money. It symbolized Bristow's faith in Taylor's potential to become one of the greats. Chapter 2. The Rise. Within 4 years, in the 1990 World Championship final, he beat five-time world champ Eric Bristow, his own mentor.
Double top, yes, for the title. Double 10. It's there! It's there! He jumps up, he shakes hands with Bristow. Bristow the...
How? Obsession. Taylor practiced 11 hours a day, developing a robotic throwing style. But wait, the real secret was in his grip. Phil Taylor's perfect throw is a mystery baffling fans and foes alike, even rivaling his own legendary mentor's iconic style. Here's a fun fact. Taylor's darts were heavier. Way heavier. At 26 grams, they were 30% weightier than standard darts, a trick to control the board. Sports engineers proved this gave him tighter groupings. The PDC had to create new rules because of him. From 1995 to 2002, Phil Taylor absolutely owned the world of darts. During this period, he won 8 consecutive world championships. That's not just winning, that's absolute dominance, in a game where the slightest mistakes can cost everything. He wasn't just beating opponents, he was destroying them. In 2010 Premier League final, Taylor hit 2 9-dart finishes in a single match. Something never done before on a televised stage.
Treble 17, double 18 for a moment of history. He did it! He did it!
To put that in perspective, a 9-darter is the darts equivalent of a perfect game in bowling. Statistically, the odds are around 1 in 500,000 for a casual player. Taylor did it twice in the same match.
Your turn could possibly call a second for the first time in darting history.
They are both coming down in 9-darter style first pop. Treble 19. Double 12! Dave, let me say it! Cause I'm gobsmacked! I am gobsmacked! Say it, Dave!
He holds a staggering 16 World Championship titles, double that of his closest rival, and over 200 professional tournament wins. No one in darts history comes close to that kind of resume. But with greatness comes tension, and Taylor's winning ways didn't sit well with everyone. Chapter 3. The Rivalry of Taylor versus Barney. The rivalry began in earnest when Van Barneveld switched from the BDO to the PDC in 2006. Before that, they had limited encounters due to organizational splits. Van Barneveld's arrival in the PDC challenged Taylor's dominance, bringing much-needed competition and drama to the sport. Taylor was known as a dominant force in darts, while Van Barneveld was seen as the charismatic challenger from the Netherlands. Taylor versus Raymond van Barneveld wasn't less than an El Clasico. Their 2007 World Championship final is often remembered as darts' iconic face-off. Taylor surged ahead early, commanding a 3-0 lead. However, Van Barneveld fought back with remarkable determination, gradually closing the gap and eventually leveling the match at 6-6. The contest then went to a dramatic, sudden death leg, where Van Barneveld claimed a thrilling 7-6 victory and secured his 5th world title.
Tops he wants.
And he gets it! Barneveld is the champion of the world!
Taylor exacted his revenge in devastating fashion 2 years later, with a dominant 7-1 victory over Van Barneveld in 2009 PDC World Championship final.
Statistically break the world record for a final. Double 12 to break the record. He does! He does! 109.75! He's broke the world record!
This wasn't sport anymore. It was war. But trophies were just half the story. Chapter 4. The Controversy. In 1993, Phil Taylor, along with 15 other top players, broke away from the British Darts Organisation, BDO, to form the Professional Darts Corporation, PDC.
16 players whose life really depended on darts took the risk of walking away from the established tournament because they felt so strongly that it should be done better and they felt they were entitled to more.
This split was driven by dissatisfaction with declining sponsorships, reduced television coverage, and low prize money in the BDO, which was significantly less than what players like Taylor believed the sport could achieve. The move was risky, as the BDO sued the breakaway players. Court documents revealed that Taylor and others risked financial ruin if they lost the legal battle. However, their gamble paid off. PDC prize money increased, reportedly 10 times higher than that of the BDO.
Within a year, they had 3 or 4 TV tournaments, bigger prize money, bigger profile, and created what we now have today.
Chapter 5. Retirement. In 2018, at the age of 57, he retired from professional darts after reaching the World Championship final one last time, losing to Rob Cross. It was poetic, a passing of the torch to a new generation, but Taylor didn't leave quietly. Even in retirement, he continued to appear in exhibition matches and voice his opinions on the sport's future. Love him or hate him, Phil Taylor still commands attention. But how do you measure the legacy of a man who changed everything? Taylor was among the first players to adopt a professional athlete's mindset, strict routines, practice regimens, and mental coaching. Without him, there's no PDC boom, no packed arenas, no million-pound prize pools. Every modern player, from Van Gerwen to Price, stands on the foundation Taylor built. Want to uncover the story and legacy of Taylor's greatest rival, Raymond? Click the video on your screen right now to dive into the drama, and don't forget to subscribe for more episodes of our series, The Darts Legends.